Girl Talk. This is the segment that you've been waiting for. We're sitting here at Bella Domicile with Dondi Zambat-Falvey. She's going to talk to us a little bit about remodeling because it is spring. Spring is in the air. I've been trying to get my spring cleaning done. I think I just want to remodel everything instead. Let's just start over.
Blow it up and start over.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us a little bit like how we do that. Where do you start with this huge and kind of very ambitious task?
That's a great question. You know, I find when people come into our showroom and they're thinking about a remodel, they're just thinking, I say, overwhelmed or excited? And they say yes.
Yes, right.
And I think the overwhelmed part comes, all you really need to know is what's not working for you. I don't like this or I don't like that. I think people kind of feel like they need to know what the solution's going to be.
Right.
They need to let us help them with that.
Yeah.
So it's really just taking it, we'll have a very step-by-step approach to get them over that overwhelmed feeling so they can just focus on the excited.
Yeah.
Sure. That's great. How do you know how to choose the right products? There's so many to choose from.
Well, that's a great question, and I think that's why a lot of people get overwhelmed.
Sure.
Is there's so much information. It's information overload on the internet and just all the inputs. So what the approach typically is find out what's how that customer is going to use the space, and then what we typically do is make a recommendation based on, you know, here's 2 or 3 options based on what we've talked about. And then they can kind of choose the product that's right for them. It's very easy to choose between 1 or 2 or 3 items instead of, you know, a massive quantity.
Right.
But
From talking with you previously, I really like how you focus on what they need.
Yes.
They need more organization. They need more space. I really like how you
yeah,
focus on that.
that's so true. So when people come in, they'll tell us what's not working. I don't have enough counter space. I don't have enough room to store things. I have the family over at whatever holiday and we're all cramped in this small space. I want to interact with my guests and I got this wall here. So it's all about starting with their problem and figuring out the solution. And then understanding what their time frame. They might be going to move into months or 5 years or 10 years or, you know, so it's just understanding, you know, what their needs are.
Right. So I'm hearing a couple of things. One is that you don't have to know what the solutions are.
Yeah.
You just need to know what the problems are. So great, we don't have to have the answers.
Yeah.
That's where you come in.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I mean, obviously being in this room, we can see all the wonderful selections and you'll help us kind of navigate that process as well. But for people at home who are thinking about getting started, there's also a trust factor. There's a lot that happens in a remodel. And so how do you know that the work is going to get done right? How can you trust that factor?
Well, you want to pick a person that you're comfortable with and a company that you're comfortable with. You're going to spend a lot of time in communication. We have, I would say, use a licensed general contractor because then you're assured that the work is going to be done according to code. The worst thing that can happen, it's a huge investment. And that's one reason why people are frightened, I guess, going into the whole remodeling experience is because it's a huge amount of money, and what if it doesn't turn out the way that they want, or what if the work isn't done correctly?
Right.
So we have a great organization, NARI, here in the Madison. It's a national company. These are professionals that just have focused their whole business on remodeling. Okay, so they're experts at it. This is a directory, so we happen to be a member. All of these, there's a directory in every member's facility, but they also have award-winning projects that they've had over the previous year.
Well, you guys are no strangers to those awards. And I know from experience.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Another thing, if there is, NARI is having their remodeling, home remodeling tour on May 22nd. It's a Sunday. So that's another way for people to go out and see remodeled homes in the area to help them get ideas too.
Oh, yeah, what a great opportunity.
It's nice to kind of have that safety feeling. And it sounds like you need someone who's licensed, which silly enough, you might not even think of that, you know,
Well,
when you're not in the industry.
I can tell you so many funny horror stories from things that I've seen happen.
I'm sure you guys walk in mid-project sometime where things have gone wrong.
Really? You know, people might have somebody that's done work at their house before, and for that, whatever they did a great job, but when you're installing cabinets and coordinating something as large as a kitchen or bath, and you want it to go smoothly, you really need someone that's just experienced with that particular.
kidding.
I'm like jumping at the bit for this because my parents are going through this exact thing right now.
Okay.
They started remodeling their kitchen. They left for Arizona for the winter. Now they're back. They have drywall up, but that is it.
Oh.
They're doing dishes in their bathroom. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, it's terrible. So you mentioned that the financing can be frightening, but I think the time can be frightening as well. How long is this going to take?
And that, a lot of that has to do with the scope of the project. So we usually get into, before we start, you know, making a promise to somebody, we understand what the scope. Sometimes it's just you're doing a quick replacement to update a look, but sometimes you're moving a wall. So I'd say a typical kitchen project might take between 4 to 6 weeks. Where if you're moving walls and you're doing a little bit more, it's more of an 8 to 12 week process.
4 to 6 weeks just sounds like music
You know
compared to
what,
4 to
though?
6
I'm
months.
thinking
Oh,
back
yeah.
though to the segment that we did. It's been a long time now, but we did a whole segment about just the process that you go through with Bella Domicile on what happens when you just remodel a kitchen, because people are fearful of that exact thing that you just talked about, doing dishes in their bathroom sink.
Bathtub.
And their step by step is so organized and well thought out that it's really it's a no-brainer.
It's like a comfortable progression.
Exactly. You have a plan for how you're going to deal with things like dishes in the meantime.
And there's such an emphasis on a remodel to start the project, schedule, get through it as quickly as possible because, hey, the people are living there,
Yeah.
you know, and that's, they love us while we're there, but they like it when we leave too, you know, so.
Well, they get
it's
to
like-
enjoy the
yeah,
finished product.
Yeah,
And, you know, it's not just about aesthetics, it's about ease of use, and that's
Right.
what you guys are
Exactly.
so good at.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, how much do you know how much projects are going to cost?
That's a great question because people have no idea what things are going to cost. So
Right.
what we do is we meet with the client, go to their house typically, and we understand the scope of the project. And then we do a 3-column budget because you could do, you know, you could do it a simpler. It may be the materials might be different. You might have a laminate countertop versus a quartz countertop versus a recycled glass countertop, depending on what you're doing. Cabinets, understanding the difference between one level of cabinetry and another. So what we do is that 3-column budget to kind of very early in the process to get people on, kind of help them establish what their budget is.
Another good way to look at it is what you need and what you want and what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But each person is different too. Some people might want to splurge on that $1,000 kitchen faucet that looks very industrial, and some people might want to splurge on the countertop, and some
I love
people
that
might
too.
want to splurge on the cabinetry
Where
or the
do you
lighting.
need
So
it for you?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I want to make sure we turn the topic for just a second
Yeah.
because we're running out of time. So these are obviously great tips, and you guys are pros, which is why we love coming here. But I also want to talk about your give back efforts are absolutely outstanding. Bella Domicile, if you haven't noticed yet, does an amazing job as a company of giving back to the community. And one of the ways in which you do that is a program called Design for a Difference.
Yeah.
You were absolutely amazing in 2015 helping out Center for Families. I'm curious if a charity has been chosen for 2016.
Absolutely it has, and we're just one of a team of designers that participates on that, but it's Rainbow Project that in downtown Madison, and they are there to help abused adults and kids, basically. So that's, you'll be seeing more information. Our first meeting is on May 10th. We had a kind of introductory meeting, but we're going to be learning more about the space and how we can help on May 10th.
Such
I
a
can't wait
wonderful
to
thing.
see that
Can't wait.
transition through 2016.
I know.
And at the end of it, we'll probably be filming there. It's gonna be great.
Let's hope.
Yeah,
All right.
let's hope. Well, thank you for being with us. It's always a pleasure meeting with you and learning something new. Thank you for joining us at home. If you missed anything, you caught a segment late, we're on YouTube. Check us out. Until next time, see you on CW 57.